Welcome back to Greenwich Valley for episode 15 with me, MrSealyp. I arrive up at the store with terrible news. Oh dear, we're selling the sprayer, which I said we were going to do anyway. It probably needs a bit of repair, but we'll sell this. Harvesting of soybeans is continuing. No, it has started, but is now happening on field 33. We'll move then to 32, then field 15. That's going to be done. Here's the thing. You know what I said about all the different companies locally? That we're kind of jumping on the bandwagon with the straw and hay pellet business. It would appear that the mesh pellets down the road and a lot of the businesses nearby have re-evaluated their pricing. So much so that if we scroll across here, I took my stuff to the Edge grain vault because that was actually not a bad price, and that was right next to the barn. Strange enough, the barn, according to this, is now taking them as well. Look at the price for straw. Now these apparently have been corrected now. These are the right way round. Straw pellets, at the barn, 2,730. Now, the pallet sell point, apparently, I think I'm right in this, they don't now take loose the pallet sell points. They just take pallets because it's a pallet sell point. And look at the price. The two pallet sell points, 2,945. I think I got 1,700 and something. I just offloaded all of that stuff literally, one episode ago, a few hours ago. I could have made nearly double what I made. Unbelievable, isn't it? This is about right, isn't it? Murphy's Law. You can't make it up. It just happens. So, with that being said, I'm going to go and find the local boozer. Drown my sorrows. Back to the B&B for a few quick sherbets. So, let's repair that. Then we'll sell it for... Is that all? Oh, I thought we were going to get more than that. Okay, well, it's not in the world. So here's the thing. This is what we're going to do. This is all about stubble fertilisation. That's what we're going to be looking at. And I've done this before. It's nothing new. And on that list of, a lot of people have been asking me of late about doing top 5 favourite mods, top 5 most useful mods, the top 5, top 10, top 5 best maps, all those kind of things. Top 5 mods, most useful mods, or top 5 mods that I use all the time, that I would use on any map I start on. And the problem is with doing a video like that, it's not particularly exciting. I'll be totally honest with you, it really isn't. Because the mods I use all the time aren't necessarily the most exciting ones, but they are incredibly useful. One of them I do tend to default to quite a lot is under weeders. It is a mod, and it's the Agromash BM75. And I've mentioned this before, this is nothing new. Mulch Harrow. It's intended for mixing crop residues with soil. Stubble fertilisation. Weeders pull out small grown weeds between crops, improving the field state. They can only be used in the first growing stage of crops. So if you use it as a weeder, it takes out the weeds. Fantastic. But as a mulch harrow, it's intended for mixing crop residues with soil. So in essence, you're doing the kind of almost a no-till. It's a very light kind of, you're just turning the stubble over. So design, yes or no, to have those on. I generally do. Mode mulch harrow, mode weeder. I want mulch harrow. And the attachers, sewing sections, yes or no. I don't normally have those on, so I'm not that bothered. So I'm going to take those off. That's going to cost us 32 grand. But I will not need to pay for any more fertiliser, because I will be doing stubble fertilisation. And that is the beauty of this bit of kit. The Joskin Scaraflex does the same thing. There are a few other bits and bobs. Well, it used to be the rollers. There were some roller packs in FS17 that used to give you a fertilising state as well. I can't remember if we got any on FS19 or not. So this is going to be our new thing. While we had spray fertiliser in the tank, we were going to use it, but it's not cheap to buy. I did sell all the digestate off. But again, the digestate doesn't go as far as you think. You always think it's going to go a really long way, and then it doesn't. Now I'm also considering the lime situation, and I think we are going to lime as well. Now the liming situation will work out a little bit better. Again, there are quite a few options on this. I'm going to need a front weight on that. Actually, just to put it out there as well, while we're here. One of the other things that I do use a lot, and again, if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll already know this. If you download it under miscellaneous, it's that. The Lizard Water Standpipe. I use that on every single Let's Play. 1,500 a place. Yeah, it's a tiny footprint. You can place it right up against pretty much anything, anywhere, as long as you own the land. And then it's free water. That's your standpipe. You go and get water for there. So for doing your animals, doing anything like that, it is an absolute godsend. One of my favourite mods to use. Like I say, it's not exciting. It's nothing amazing. It's not a big whiz-bangy piece of machinery, but it really does the job well. And I like that a lot. So, next up then was Fertilizer Technology. Now I've used a few of these in the past. I've used the Braidels on different Let's Plays, and those things are brilliant. If you're going to go down this route, you want to go with one that does lime and fertilizer if you want. So you have got the option to do solid fertilizer too if you want to. Now I saw this one, the Rewo Agromash. Well, I've just got the Agromash Mulch Harrow, 8,200 litre capacity, 31,700. Another one that I do like a lot is the MBA 12,000, 24,500 to buy. That will do fertilizer and lime, and it's nice and cheap. Bearing in mind that does 8,000 litres. The Braidel F2WS 4000, which you had on FS19 and we've got now as a mod, does 4,000 litres, so half the capacity, but costs what, £3,500 more. So really, this one. Now I'm pretty sure, and I said this when this came out on FS17. I'm sure that was only about £10,000 to buy. You could buy a used version. I am going to go though with big old chunky wide tyres on this. Although that can be a bit dicey if I'm trying to... I do try and get my fertiliser states done before I put crops in the ground, generally. But I'm going to use this for lime, so it doesn't really matter. £25,000. I'm hoping the £25,000 we're going to spend will be worth it, because what it will do is increase our yield across our fields. Actually, what I'm going to do is change this around a little bit. I know this shouldn't be done and wouldn't be done because visibility would be awful, you wouldn't be able to see. This does mean I can get this all done in one hit. Sorry, it's a lot of talking, it's a lot of explaining. I just think it's important to, you know, I know I'm often accused of, when I'm buying stuff, I don't explain necessarily why I'm getting it, the reason behind it. I mean, generally I do mumble a lot and talk about my reasons. I kind of do explain a lot of the time, but sometimes I don't. So for those people that feel I don't, and I'll put this in the front so I can get it all back in one hit. But like I say, from in-cab, well, it's not too bad. But would I go down the road like this? Probably not. You probably shouldn't. Now, is it worth me putting lime in this now while I'm up here? I think I might fill it up with lime now. And then we'll have to find somewhere to buy lime from. Or I could get lime pallets delivered, I suppose, couldn't I? So, under pallets. Yeah, 700 for 2,400 litres. That's the kiddie. With the new, again, kind of go with it, the delivery service that's available, I can get more pallets of these delivered. So we are going to be doing a little bit more field work this time. So we are going to be stubble fertilising and we're going to be liming, which I haven't done lime yet, and this is just a different way of fertilising. But like I say, once you've bought this, your fertilising's free. Love it or loathe it, it works. If you want to go down the route of actually, you know, you can spray fertilizer, you can spread fertilizer, you can do manure, you can do, on certain maps you can do compost. There are so many different ways of fertilising your fields. But when money's tight, this works wonders. I have a little bit left here. There we go. Come back for that. There's no cover on this, so there's always the worry it will blow away. But anyway, I'll see you back over at the farm. I think what we'll do is go to field 78 first. I'm going to fertilise it first, then lime it. Then the harvest should be finished on field 33. Hopefully then, which way should we go? We'll go this way and we can avoid the main roads with this on. And then I'll move over to 33, then the harvester will go to field 32 and I'll just follow the harvester. Nearly there. Actually, I'm just thinking I'm pretty... Have I got... It's weird. There we go. I'm pretty sure here at the farm they've got a weight. I think it's just a barrel full of concrete, but that will actually work really well. What we'll do is pull up here, put the lime to one side for the moment. Oh, I think that might be too heavy on the front. Pretty sure that's too heavy. Right, let's disconnect that, it's better. Oh, man. Big enough. Go and grab the weight. It's just through here. Pretty sure it's on the back of the little Massey. As I said in the last episode, once the next bit of harvest is done, obviously the fields will need to be prepped, but we've got that harvest contract to do for another farmer, which will give us some wheat for the pigs, which they're going to need. I'm just thinking, if the barn are paying out as much as they are for straw pellets, that's not a bad way of going about it. If we do straw, also if we do straw, if we do wheat or barley or oats, keep the swath, bale it, we could make a tidy bit of money on straw. Bearing in mind, like I say, it's just a byproduct of a crop technically. Hay's a little bit more intensive to make because we've got to cut it, ted it, windrow it, you know, all that stuff, and then bale it, whereas the straw's just there. You know, that kind of... And again, I'm in that situation. We've had an update, there's been all different stuff has changed, which is great. But in my head, I'm thinking, that definitely wasn't there before. The barn definitely wasn't paying out before, was it? Am I losing my mind? I probably am, actually. So, like I say, if you're not familiar with this, we will unfold it. Now we can adjust the tines on this as well. And I'm pretty sure, generally speaking, I tilt them backwards, but I've got to remember how to do it. There we go. L1 and right stick. I tilt them right back. And then what we'll do is turn it on, drop it down. Notice already, the ground's gone darker. We are fertilising in the stubble, which gives us a fertilising state. Fertilising? Yeah, we are. I mean, we're just kind of raking it in, turning it over a little bit, so the stubble and residue that's left behind from the harvest just gets turned a little bit into the ground. And that's why you get the Mulch Harrow version. The Mulch Harrow version has these wheels on the front, which kind of cuts it all up and slices the ground open a little bit. Without that, you just get the rakes, which is for the weeding. So this kind of does a bit of both, and that's how you get your fertilising. This will also run at, is it 10 or 12? 11. Oh. Now, obviously, this won't cover the same ground as a fertiliser spreader or even a sprayer. If you get a really wide boom sprayer, you can cover ground way, way quicker. This isn't the fastest option, but it is by far the cheapest option. Now, you'll still get charged for hiring a worker, but I still think it's well worth every penny. Because you can leave a worker once you've, like with anything, harvesting or sowing, seeding, planting, once you've set up the field, and then you can hire a worker, one of your local residents or someone that works in your farm, you can just let them get on with it. You can go and do something else, and then your fields are being fertilised. So, at no cost, bit of repair every now and again. Once this is done, we'll lime it. And technically, once it's limed, we could fertilise it again with this. Kind of rake in the lime sort of thing. Because we've changed the field state by putting lime on it. So again, you know, there are all different ways. So go about gaining your maximum fertilised state. Now when you're playing like this, it's 2 fertilising states. If you're playing with seasons, it's 3. It always used to be 3. Let me turn that off a second. On FS19 it was 3 fertilising states, and it changed. If we're looking out map screen here, and we go to our field 78, zoom in, we go to soil composition, take off ploughing, take off lime, and if you look where it says fertilised over on the right hand side, you've got 2 shades of blue, light and dark, so it's 2 fertilising states. That's all it needs. And like I said, with seasons it requires 3. But what you can also do, if I go into which menu is it? Where do I want? This one. Field info. I always have it off because it can be a bit annoying, but if I put that on and go to my field now, it tells me it needs ploughing. Well, it doesn't say it needs lime, which is weird because it does, but it will tell you what it's fertilised at the moment. So in patches, 48-50%. On the second pass, it will give me next. So it will tell you what you need to do. Owned by me. Fruit type was corn. Harvested. Fertilised that side hasn't been. As you can see, 0 and 2%. Does need plant. Why is it not saying needs lime? Oh, I wonder. Oh, I've just realised something. I may not even have that turned on. That's not good. Turn my field info back off. Oh no, lime required is off. I don't normally have that turned off. Why is that off? I've just put all that lime. Oh, come on. All that time then, I was getting probably maximum yield. Why is that off? No. Oh well. Okay, it is what it is. So I'm going to continue with my stubble fertilisation, and then we'll lime. It's lucky I checked that, because I would have limed it and it would have made no difference whatsoever. I mean, realistically, with it turned off, I think it balances out the yield. So you technically are getting a good yield without it. I think. It's always one of those weird ones that you're never quite sure. So, anyway, let's get on with this. We'll check on the harvester in a bit too. All of our soybean will be going over to the cow farm, to Jeremy, for his little farm shop. We'll get a good price over there for it. I'm absolutely gutted by all our hay pellets. I was getting 3,400 for a 2,000 litre pallet. They're now paying 2,900 for a 1,000. Can't believe it. What are the odds? Oh, never mind. We are still on field 78, but this process will be repeated on all the fields I do. So with the bruns, this one, when you actually set it up, that disc goes down onto the wheel, that turns the belt or chain inside there, which drives that. These discs spin, flick the lime or the fertilizer, wherever you want to put it. So what we need to do is engage that first. That opens, that puts that down, like so. And then we turn it on, and away we go. Try and make sure I actually get right into the edge. The only downside is it burns through lime at a fairly quick rate. All the lime spreaders do, to be fair. But then that said, the lime is a little bit cheaper to buy. Like I say, I'm just a bit gutted. I can't believe I had it turned off. I don't know why I would have had it turned off. But anyway, it was turned off, and that's all I need to know. So am I actually going to see a yield bonus from doing this? Possibly not. Plus, I'm not going to be doing the same crop in it again, so it's hard to tell. This field also needs ploughing because we did corn in it, so it will need a plough as well. So we're going to have to get that on it too. I forgot about that. So what we'll do, after the lime's been applied, I'll show you what I meant about the agramash, because we're actually changing the field state now. We're putting lime on top of it, so it's gone from the kind of harvested residue left on the ground to then using that, which has changed the state to make it look darker. We're now changing the field state with the powder on top. It should allow us to fertilise again on top of that. Right, again, rightly or wrongly, whether you would do in real life, whether you should do in real life, it will allow you to. I suppose that's probably the more relevant part to this. It will allow you to. Whether you should or shouldn't or not is a different matter, but we'll have a look actually on the map, see if we can find somewhere we can buy lime. If not, like I say, we'll just have it delivered. We can have it delivered right to the field, so that'll make life a little bit easier too. Don't know if we'll get through. I don't think we'll get the field done with what we've got in here. We might do. We'll see. Potentially. Oops, missed a bit. I'll come back for that later. So the harvest has now moved over. That's on field 32. That's been harvested, and we do have a full load of soybeans to go up to the cow farm. Which I don't know. What I might do is swap someone out to do this, and I'll do that. And I don't know. We'll get up there. I'm not too sure what the price is at the moment. I am seriously considering now all the crop we put into these fields again, rather than putting soybean in again. I'm honestly thinking we might go wheat, barley, or oats, and then what we'll do is we'll get a double whammy in so much as we'll get all of the crop and the price we'll get for that, and then we'll take all of the residue, the swath, we'll bale it, and we'll sell it, we'll pelletise it. I really think that's probably the way to go with it. It's all good fun, isn't it? Keeps you out of mischief. That's the main thing. Surprising how now we're getting kind of close-ish. I say close-ish, 640,000. Not that close, but closer to paying off the debt. You suddenly realise actually it's in my sights now. We can do this. We can, you know. So then you're racking your brains thinking, right, how can we do this? Not necessarily quicker, but Work smarter, not harder. Although I'm still curious about doing some logging. I might do some logging because that always varies as well from farm to farm and area to area what you get paid for your lumber. So I'm curious, we might just do a load maybe, but I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Haven't really had any rain, have we? It's not been bad weather recently. Seem to have got away with it. Actually, we might get this done, mightn't we? That's good. Tiny bit. There we go. Now the liming won't need doing again for, is it 3 harvests? I'm sure it's 3 harvests we can get away with the lime. Just going to stick this in the field here for the time being. Just disconnect that. Back up to the agromash, and then, like I say, in theory, which is not going to work now, but open it up. Here we go. We go again with this, and that's our 2 fertilising states done. That's it, 100% fertilised. Before we've even put any seeds in the ground. I haven't ploughed it, I haven't cultivated it yet. Literally just done this. But we're doing this way as well, is unless you're going to do weeds and then you might have to do herbicide and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about damaging crops and having row crop tyres and those kind of things if you want to go down this route again. Like I say, there are so many different ways of doing this. There's the right way, there's the wrong way, there's the MrSealyp way. Lots of farmers all over the world do it in all different ways, in all different orders. Just whatever you feel happy doing, really. LPD has a full grain tank. Let's go over there and sort that out. We may have a full harvester, however, can't unload that harvester until we've emptied the trailer because we've got a full 30,000 litres. So we're back over at the cow farm, over at Jeremy's, and we're going to unload our soybean. There we go. Oh, it's good money. It's good money. Is it good enough though? 72. I'm sure we only made 64 grand the last time we did it, or did I imagine that? I might have dreamt that in all honesty, but I think we did alright last time. Right, let's try and swing this round. We can swing this other side of that. And then we can back out. Back out. There we go. back over to the farm, unload the harvester, go again, and then we got to move everything over to field 15, get that done, and like I say, then our agramash and the Bruns liming will continue on behind till we've got them all done, and then only one field needs ploughing, and then it'll be on to sowing again. Whoa, that was close. And like I say, I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet. We'll have a look and see what's paying out the most. Weirdly, it has been, I think it was barley, or was it oats that was paying out more? We'll check later on when it comes to the sowing portion, which probably won't be today's episode. We'll go on with that. Field 15 has been harvested. It's all hands on deck. We've had everyone working now. This has changed around a little bit. This, we're having more and more problems. Now, remember, it's not available on console, but as part of the storyline, the GPS in this is really playing up. As well as the 3-point link, the GPS is horrendous. Couple that with a worker that's not quite sure what they're doing, or it may be they don't know how to operate it. That could be part of the problem. I had this hooked up to this, and it came up while I was moving some stuff around saying that the worker was stuck, or yeah, whatever it was. You think I'd know what that was by now, but anyway, so when I went over to check, it was 2 fields over. It had gone through the hedges and was stuck up against a fence. So what I then did was set the worker off again and watched him. He got to the end of the row, turned round, did half a turn, then decided, I'm going to drive off to the next county, and off he went. So Yeah, that, not so good for hiring a worker. So I went and grabbed this. I wasn't sure if it'd have enough horsepower, plus you can't put a front weight on it. I mean, you can add weights to it, but it wouldn't be enough, so I thought I'll leave the front loader on the bucket to counterbalance this, and it worked absolutely perfectly. No problem at all. But as you can see, everything's looking a little bit dirty. Now, as the thumbnail implies, I did mention earlier we hadn't had any rain, so I'm assuming everything has just become a bit of a dust bowl, because look at the state. I don't think I've ever had a harvester that's got this dirty. Look at the state of it. I mean, the dust must be horrendous. If we go up on the top, look in here. It's horrendous. So that's going to go back. That's going to get some love, some attention. Everything's going to be washed, cleaned, fixed, greased, sorted. But it has done its job for the time being. But what we do have to do is take the last of our soybean to the cow barn to sell. What we're also going to do is go and get some more lime. Now, as you've seen, we had some lime delivered. The lovely guys down at Mesh Pellets were kind enough to whiz off and get us some lime. We did pay for it, it wasn't free, but I'm going to show you in a minute. We're going to go out and we're going to get some more lime, because here specifically in this area around this farm, there are multiple places on multiple farms all over the place to buy lime, and there's various different ways of doing it on various different maps and various different locations. It's actually free. You can get free lime from quarries and various different things. So I went for the cheapest option I could think of when I first got them, and that was those large pallets, 2,400 litres for 700. A normal pallet, a standard pallet, is 450 for 1,000 litres. So 2,000 litres would be 900 and so on. So that was a cheaper option. But here, there is an even cheaper option, which we're going to go and check out in a minute. I'm going to go and sell this first. I'm going to get the agramash going around, so we'll get our stubble fertilisation going. I'll use what lime I've got in the tank. I think we've got about 1,900 litres. That's not going to last very long, and then we'll come out and we'll get some more. It's actually out this direction, but I'll show you when we get out here. Everything's going alright. Now I will say a few things that have changed. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I implied it earlier on in the video. Obviously at the time of recording I didn't know, but coming back on, I'm going to go on it now and show you, and it will have gone back again. The barn that had decided they were going to buy pellets too and were offering a really good price for straw, apparently they've changed their minds and they've decided they're not going to be buying straw anymore, because the pricing's vanished. It's gone off the barn. So I'm assuming they've decided they're not buying, not straw, I mean pellets. They're not going to be buying pellets anymore, I assume, because the edge one is right next door. Conflict of interest or something, I don't know. So it's all a bit peculiar, but I'll show you that in just a second as well. If they've just decided, you know what, we're not going to enter the fray, there's too many people locally doing it, it's just not worth it. I assume, we're going to get over 400 grand. Get in. You know what, soybeaning, especially when you're selling at the self-marketing stations, or some of the self-marketing stations, is really good. Oh, looks like they're doing some work on the styres in the workshop. So we're up to 410 grand. That's good. We're up to 7.1 hours of our trial hours on the JCB. I'm going to head back to the field, like I said, get all the bits done that I need to get done, and then I'll whiz up and I'll show you about the lime, because it's actually not a bad price. All in a day's work. We're getting loads done, and we are knocking more and more off this loan. Oh, this debt. Well, I suppose it is a loan, isn't it, technically, from the bank. We will get debt free. We absolutely will get debt free. When we do, we may be looking at expansion. I don't know, we'll see. It all hinges very heavily on the boss. He might just decide once he's debt free, you know what, cut my losses, sell everything, and they might move out of farming completely, which will kind of seem to be, I'll have wasted, well, I haven't wasted a lot of time, I've helped them get debt free, I suppose. Maybe they'll offer Rob and Debbie the option to buy their farms rather than lease them, I don't know. Right, so as I make a few rounds around the field, I'm going to do a few headlands round, and then I'll set the worker off just to make sure we don't have any issues of it going through hedges or getting caught in trees and that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I was going to show you about the straw. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Look at the barn, top one, far right. The prices are back up on there again. Oh man. I had to go and have my tea or lunch. I nipped off. When I came back, prices had gone. So I thought, okay, that's not good, is it? Obviously it's an anomaly. They've decided they're not going to be selling anymore, they're not going to do straw and hay. And then what happens? I come back on again. And the prices are back on there. Okay. I have to go back and do some editing. So the thing is now, what I'm assuming you've seen, you won't have now seen because I'll have removed it. I did initially when I talked about the pricing and about doing straw and hay, I put up a little thing saying, ignore me, ignore all of this, because you'll see later on things have changed. What I'm now concerned about is that I'm going to come back on here, do a load of straw, make a load of straw bales, and then find that the price disappears again and I'm left with a ton of straw bales, which I can make money on, but just not as much as... oh, I don't know. It's always the way, isn't it? Typical. Anyway. Happy days. I don't mind, I'm in a tractor, plodding along. Oh, my tines have all moved back again. Why have they moved? No, not you. Small tines back. Trouble is, because I've got two things on it. You know what? It's just ridiculous. Let's put that down for a second. Disconnect you. Now adjust the tines. There we go. Now connect you back up again. And we can continue. I have found sometimes with the tines up in a sort of 90-degree perpendicular to the frame, sometimes they miss little bits here and there, whereas if I put them down like that and it drops the whole frame assembly down a little bit further, I haven't had any problems. That said, I'm now slowing right down, which I hadn't done before. Oh, bucket. Oh, muppet. The bucket was still on the floor. You know what it's like. Something goes wrong, and you start going through that mental checklist. Okay, what's wrong here? What can it be? What could be causing it? There always seems to be something really obvious that you miss. Like, oh yeah, bucket's dragging along the floor. That could be why I'm not moving anywhere. I'm actually digging the ground up. So I have run out of lime. We have run out of lime. The first fertilising is all done. I did actually stop and bring the JCB back here with the trailer on, because I did think what I might do is go up and grab a full trailer load, 30,000 litres of lime, and just put it in storage for later on. I thought it might be quite handy. Right, we've got to drive over to where we're going to go to now to get the lime. On the way, I'm going to talk about something else. If you, like me, are a console gamer, and you may be on Discord. A lot of people have been asking me, am I on Discord? I am on Discord, but I don't have a Discord server. I don't have enough hours in the day to keep up with all the social media I've got already. So I think I would struggle with a Discord server too. That being said, I was invited to join a Discord server the other day, FS19 Console. The two guys that I've had contact with, well, a few people on there, but the two admins, Stephen and Jamie so far, I think there might be another admin, maybe another two, have been great. There is a funny story that goes along with that. I'll tell that another time. They are a console only Discord server. I think they've got a Facebook presence as well. If you're interested in joining it, jump on there, have a look for them. If I remember, I'll put the link in the description. I'm not sure how to put a Discord link in the description, but I'll see what I can do. If not, just search up FS19 Console. Yeah, so if you're looking for an environment, if you're new to the game, or you're not new to the game, but you're looking for a Discord environment that's, you know, console friendly and people are in there to help out and chat and, you know, talk over things, give them a look. I will tell the story at some point, but not at the moment. It's a bit fresh, it's a bit raw at the moment. So anyway, yeah, give them a look. Well worth it. Well worth it. There's a good bunch of people on there. They're a fairly new Discord server, but they are looking for new members to join, and they're hoping to kind of expand and grow. And I think there are quite a few FS19 Discord servers out there, but a lot of them are kind of mixed. And I just think they wanted to go for something that was a bit more kind of console specific. So yeah, give them a look. See what you think. We are heading out here. Is it RK? Oh, trying to remember now. Yes, RK Blair. All person cross the road. RK Blair. Farm suppliers. This is where we're heading. Let's see if I can back into here. Because they sell lime here. Now, if you recall, I bought 4 pallets at 700 a pallet. So that's 2,800 as far as I can make out. I did have some left. I didn't fill up because obviously 2,400 multiplied by 4 is more than 8,000. So I do still have some on a pallet. So what we're going to do is fill this up, 8,000 litres from the loose line silo, and see what it costs. So we can do fertilizer, lime. I think, does this do seed as well? I'm trying to remember. But we are going to do lime. So watch the counter. We'll see what it costs us, because this is actually way cheaper than buying the pallets. 8,000 litres for 1,394. That's the equivalent of 2 pallets from the main store. So, no brainer. Get my lime from here. Now that's going to be different on every farm, in every farming area. Depends on what's available where you are. The supplier near you, prices do vary. And I must point out that other lime suppliers are available. So, we're going to head back and we'll carry on with the liming. So I just think rather than coming backwards and forwards for 8,000 litres at a time, what I might just do is, like I say, come up here with the trailer. It's going to be a little bit of expense to start off with, but it will save us money in the long run. I know a lot of farms and farmers do it with regard to seed and fertiliser and all sorts of stuff. They'll wait until the local, wherever it is they get them from, does sales when they do, you know, various different things, and they'll buy bulk when it's at its cheapest. It just kind of makes more sense doing it that way. I know when I was watching Cold the Cornstar the other day, the Cornstar Farms, they do it with all their filters for all their machinery. They wait until the local store, they have like a big discount day, and they order them all then, because they save a load of money. Kind of obvious really, I suppose, isn't it? But anyway, with that, so we're up to now across the road, 408,000. We are going to pay a little bit more off the loan, the debt, probably 100,000. Yeah, maybe. Once this is limed and fertilised for a second time, I've got to decide what I'm going to do about crops. I'm thinking if the barn situation still stays as it is, I am definitely going to go down the route of a cereal crop. We've done soybeans a couple of times, and one of the fields have corn in. So I'm thinking going from legumes to a cereal crop might not be a bad idea for the soil too. And then we'll go down the route of pelleting. I'm also considering we're probably going to do a bit of logging and lumber, but we do also have that harvest contract that we took on for another farmer, and we are going to be doing whole cropping as well. That's going to be coming up soon too. We were asked if we could whole crop a field for one of the local farmers, so we're going to be doing that as well. But for the time being, I need to crack on. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're still enjoying the series. If you are, if you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.